Mike Smith was born in London, Ontario in 1951 into a family of food merchants, grocers, and small-scale restaurateurs. After graduating from Oak Ridge High School, Mike attended Conestoga College, where he studied radio and television arts. From there, Mike worked briefly at an advertising agency. The experience sharpened Mike's creative instincts and gave him the drive to start a business of his own. He decided that whatever he pursued, it would have to be something that he built in his own mischievous way.
Built a business from the ground up. It was literally him all by himself in the early days at Nitty's. Really, his level of creativity exceeded anyone else's that I had ever met.
Always seemed to be thinking always outside the box. I thought a lot of his ideas were stupid, but he's proved me well wrong.
After opening Nitty's, a hot dog stand in the old downtown city center building, Mike eventually saw success when he opened Joe Cool's in 1983. Now a London institution, Joe Cool's is a genuine reflection of Mike's offbeat outlook and personality. A true presence, Mike's charisma and dynamism energize the room and the people in it. He leaves his signature wherever he goes, particularly in his restaurants.
You knew when he was in the room. Yeah, and it was electrifying. It was a great atmosphere. He has a great energy about him.
When Mike first opened, service was terrible. The food was okay, but the service was terrible. Mike, I remember on a Friday afternoon, Mike would stand up. The place was packed. He'd stand up on a table and tell everyone, "Please don't leave. Your food's coming out." And that's how that shtick started with Joe Cool.
He underestimates the influence that he may have on people. But being a person that he is, he's always a person who ultimately has a positiveness that is infectious.
With Joe Cool's and his subsequent ventures, including the Runt Club, Fellini Coolini's, and Toboggan, formerly the infamous Jim Bob Ray's, Mike Smith's knack for doing business his way is clear. Despite his light-hearted, self-deprecating approach, Mike is a flexible, forward-thinking businessman who takes his work very seriously.
He was very anxious to have his business reflect his serious concern for doing the right thing, for being a businessman of integrity, to be honest and act in good faith in all his dealings with the public, with his suppliers, with his customers.
He alters his thinking on a regular basis. He's not tied down to the traditional business norms because he knows that in his business, things change rapidly. The craft beer business, he could see that was burgeoning into a very significant industry, and he's now a part of that, and basically part of that, quote, craft brewery establishment, and doing extraordinarily well.
Most restaurants start up really, really high, and as they're peaking, if they're not making changes, the slope down is so fast, and that's where a lot fail. But Mike would start making changes as he's chugging up before he got to that peak so that he would continue to peak.
One of the things, you always have to be aware of the rules, but don't be afraid to break them. And I think that's been Mike's forte.
Mike's selfless generosity and commitment is widely known and celebrated. His loyalty and commitment to his employees, partners, and neighbors has touched many and earned him the respect and admiration of London's business community.
He was approached by companies to be bought out, and Mike's first thing was, I've got so many families, mouths to feed, and families to take care of, I just can't do it. And most people would jump at the idea of selling their business, but because of his staff, Mike kept going along.
Has a tremendous fondness for the people he works for, or works with, I should say, a fondness, a loyalty to ensure that there is a good balance, on the social scene in our community.
Mike's work with London Clean and Green, an annual citywide cleanup event, and the Joe League, an organization helping deserving youth get involved with sports and cultural activities, makes him a true community leader and champion. Mike is also a board member of Tourism London, as well as a past member of such boards as the Grand Theatre, Belton House, and London Downtown Business Association.
It was always interesting to sit down with Mike to get a perspective from a small business owner as to what he thought we ought to do to help change the image of the city and help improve economic growth.
devotion to the community and the help he gives to everybody. I think Mike has really been outstanding in that way, and it's always done from the side, not out in front like type thing. You know, he's behind the scenes a lot, and I've seen and heard a lot of things that Mike has done that he wouldn't even talk about type thing. He really helped a lot of people in a lot of ways. He's a good person.
As a mentor, partner, and friend to so many in the City of London, Mike Smith deserves to be inducted into the Junior Achievement London and District Business Hall of Fame.
Mike doesn't realize how much he mentors so many people and how many people he has touched over the years.
He's just a special individual and an individual this community should be very proud of having as a citizen.
Cheers, Mike.